in Sunday night's loss. Carson Wentz, remember that name, is expected to start Week 3 versus the Bengals, who will be starting backup Jake Browning in place of Joe Burrow. Jaden Daniels came away from the Commanders' Week 2 loss with a knee sprain and is now in doubt for Sunday's matchup with the Raiders. Backup Marcus Mariota will be in line for the start if Daniels misses time. We've discussed the impact of Burrow's injury yesterday, so Canty, which injury is more concerning, J.J. McCarthy's or Jaden Daniels?
It's J.J. McCarthy. Listen, we got to put this into its proper context. This dude is in his second year in the NFL and has played exactly one good quarter of football. He's put on an NFL jersey for 4 games. 2 preseason games, one last year, one this year, and 2 regular season games this year. And you're talking about this dude missing 17 games last year and now poised to miss an extended period of time now with a high ankle sprain. Yeah. I'm concerned J.J. McCarthy is going to get that label of being injury prone if he can't change his level of availability for his team. And then beyond that, J.J. McCarthy came into the league as a developmental prospect, and Swagoo knows this. The best way to get good at football is by playing football. Yeah. And if injuries get in the way of your ability to be available and be out there on the football field, then all of a sudden now we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings organization not being able to take advantage of the window that they've created with this core of players because J.J. McCarthy can't get good enough, fast enough.
I don't think this is a conversation for us to have a big disagreement, but I went with Jaden Daniels, and it's simply because I want him to protect himself a little bit more as a quarterback, especially with what he means to this franchise. CC, we talked about it some last year. Sometimes get out of bounds, big dog. Slide a little bit earlier. These kind of knick-knack injuries are the ones that we are fearful of derailing what he can be in this league. And the way he played last year, thinking that he could one day be in that conversation as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL based on his production. That hit he took against Green Bay in that traffic. I don't want Jaden Daniels taking those hits. I want him to be smarter in those situations. So it's not about if he's going and trying to make a play. It's not about, I'm not talking about the playoffs where you got to have a third down. You got to make the play. You got to extend the drive, or you have to get in field goal range. I'm talking about these plays where it just seems that he wants to, first of all, he's slight. He's not a big dude, right? That's number one.
Right.
The second thing is the way that you resurrected this franchise from where it was in your first year. Your availability is more paramount probably to your team than anybody's in the NFL.
I get you, and I don't disagree because, like you said, it's not a huge disagreement here, but I'm going to roll with CeCe on this one in this regard. It has me curious about the Minnesota Vikings organization and Kevin O'Connell specifically. You had a quarterback at Sam Darnold last year, threw 35 touchdowns, just 12 interceptions, over 4,000 yards. You resurrected his career and then let him walk out the door because of a dude that was a rookie who was supposed to be a developmental project that was out for the season with a meniscus injury. And you said, yo, this is our future. Really? You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison once he comes back? You understand what I'm saying? I'm just looking at T.J. Hockenson and these boys. You've got all of these weapons, and you relying on this dude who's essentially a rookie because he didn't play his rookie year. So this is the first time he's playing, and then I'm looking at him, and I've been underwhelmed before the injury. He had a good fourth quarter in the opening game against the Chicago Bears, who after watching them get butt rushed by Detroit, we gotta have a serious discussion about what is Chicago really? As a team, as a defensive unit, what are they really? Are they really something to write home about? So you look at all of those things, and J.J. McCarthy only looked good for one quarter against them, and then looked good at all against Atlanta, and then he's injury prone too?
Yeah.
To me, we just say, Jaden Daniels, just be safe. Just be safe, preserve yourself. With J.J. McCarthy, we looking at something different. Is he what Kevin O'Connell tried to convince everybody he is?
See, it's phenomenal how the brains work, right? Because I think it's more catastrophic because we know what Jaden Daniels is. I don't like trying to guess. Well, J.J. McCarthy might not be good even if he helped.
Well, that would be catastrophic for the Minnesota Vikings.
But I get it, Stephen.
Because of the weapons they have around them.
But the caveat in Minnesota was you were going to have to pay Sam Darnold a lot of money. So now you pushing J.J. McCarthy getting on the field back even further based off 1 year of how he performed. With Jaden Daniels, let Jaden Daniels get hurt for the season.
Okay. Watch the reaction.
You don't want Jaden
Make
Daniels
it quick.
to be RG3.
Okay.
That too.
You don't want
That's
that.
yes.
You don't want that.
That one
Each
scares
set
me.
enough.
Yes, sir.
Got bills to pay.
Okay. pay
Stafford.
A ton of quarterback news today, and almost none of it is any good.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels of the Commanders hurt his knee in their loss to Green Bay last Thursday. Dan Quinn, their head coach, saying it's unclear if he's going to be available for this week's game. Obviously, he's going to want to play. They're going to want to be careful with him. I think this is a situation where you have to see what, if anything, he's able to do at practice, how he feels as the week goes on, and they will make this decision probably as late as Friday or Saturday. Marcus Mariota would start if Jaden Daniels cannot. And in Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy hurt his ankle in Sunday night's game against Atlanta. His head coach, Kevin O'Connell, says he's not going to be available this week. We're being told he's out between 2 and 4 weeks. This is interesting. You look at their schedule. Week 4, they're in Dublin, and then they're staying over there and playing week 5 in London, and then they have a bye in week 6. So if he's on the high end of this timetable, we might not see him again until week 7. That's entirely possible. So, yeah, rough start to the season here, as you see with these quarterback injuries. Justin Fields, that's concussion protocol. We all know how that worked. Maybe he can play this week. Maybe not. Has to clear all the steps. And then Brock Purdy could be back this week, but they got Mac Jones, so they're fine. And Joe Burrow is the big news of yesterday. I mean, of all these, the one positive I will say, of all these, the Burrow one is the only one that feels like a long-term injury, whereas the rest of these guys should be back pretty soon.
Yes, and yet. I mean, here we
not
are.
great. No,
These are overwhelmingly the most important people in the sport, whether everyone else wants to hear it or not. These are the people that we tune in to watch. These are the people who make these games exciting. If this was a Broadway show, they're the ones whose names would come above the title. They just would. And we are 2 weeks into the season, and 15% of the teams have lost their quarterbacks already. Jeff Saturday, you have an interesting theory as to why, at least one reason this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the extend the play mentality that has overtaken the league, and it's super exciting. When you think about how, these guys can scramble around, make plays, and do all these things. I remember transitioning from Peyton Manning with Tom Moore, and it was 1, 2, 3, throw it away, right? Otherwise, you get carried off boots first. Get rid of the football. I go to Green Bay with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, and it's hold up, let some receiver, make a play down the field, and then bomb the thing down there. Well, inherently, there's risk in that because you're getting hit a lot. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning knew how to lay down and live to play the next play. These young guys are not doing that. And when you get hit that much, and this isn't every case, but in a large majority, these plays, they tally up. It's not just one, it's the multiple these guys are getting hit.
And the Jaden Daniels clip that we just saw is a reminder that staying healthy is also a skill.
Yeah.
Like some of these players find a way to, you're going to scramble. The modern game, there aren't very many quarterbacks in the game that are not athletes anymore. It's going to happen.
Play right there.
Yeah, he does that so often. As someone who watches the Commanders often being in D.C., and anyone who watched him at LSU, he has like a propensity to find those hits. And we see J.J. McCarthy trying to run people over. Like it's something that these and Patrick Mahomes trying to run people over. In week 2, Patrick, I thought we saved that for the playoffs.
Right.
That's the part of the game, and it's I think they're exposing themselves to injury.
And it's not going anywhere. I mean, you look across the league to what Jeff was saying. We don't see the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Brady's. Joe Burrow was the closest thing to that, the way he maneuvered and walked around in the pocket, but he still was a guy that could get on the outside. So